Welcome everybody to the DELISA webinar on September 28th, 2023. I'm Michael Crosswalks, the Academic Support Assistant for DLIS. And we're joined today by Pamela Yonker, who is the, membership chair or coordinator for ASIS&T, which is the Association for Information Science and Technology. And she's going to talk to us today about some of the benefits of student membership in ASIS&T and the possibility of a DLIS forming a student chapter of ASIS&T, which is a major national organization. So thank you, Pamela, for joining us, and I hand you the floor.
Thank you for having me, Michael. Hello, everyone. As Michael said, I'm Pamela Yonker. I'm the Director of Membership and Communications with ASIS&T. And also, like he said, I'm just going to give you an introduction into ASIS&T if you're not familiar, just a brief intro, and then tell you a little bit about some of the benefits of joining a student chapter and what they can do for you as you're progressing through your programs. So as you can see on my screen, broadly, the benefits of an ASIS membership include professional and leadership development while volunteering, which of course is sort of a CV building activity, mentorship and guidance, which is really invaluable at this stage of your progress through your career, and networking within the field. That's one of the greatest benefits of joining ASIS&T. And I'll discuss these benefits in a little bit more detail as I go through this presentation. So for those of you who aren't aware, I just wanted to back up for a minute and just answer the question, who is ASIS&T? What is ASIS&T? ASIS&T is the Association for Information Science and Technology. It's the leading community of information science researchers and practitioners. And it's a global organization. It originally started as the American Society for Information Science and Technology. And then as it became global, it became the Association for Information Science and Technology. It's been in existence for 86 years. We're about to have our 86th annual meeting in London at the end of October. And we've adapted with the changes in the industry over the years, up to the addition of our newest special interest group in artificial intelligence. So as we see new developments in the field, the association adapts and adds different ways to incorporate those new developments into ASIS&T and its programming. A snapshot of our membership, we have, it's actually just under by 3 people. So we have 1,997 current members these are people at the forefront of the information technology field. And our members come from more than 71 countries currently, and that changes all the time as we make our memberships more accessible to members throughout the world. So why should anyone join ASIS&T? What is in it for you if you join ASIS&T, whether you're a student member or a professional member? As a student member, you'll receive all of the same benefits as a professional member, with the exception of, I believe, voting rights, although I may even have to check on that because I may be wrong when I say that. But what are the benefits of joining ASIS&T? And they can broadly be broken down into these 4 categories. The connection and networking that I mentioned, that's really invaluable. You'll make connections with people across the world who maybe you wouldn't have the opportunity to meet, if it were not for ASIS&T. We have an online members-only community called iConnect. That's really a discussion forum, and it's broken out into different categories. There's overall forums, and then there's smaller forums for our special interest groups and committees. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our special interest groups in just a minute. You'll have the opportunity to be listed in and have access to our member directory. So you can contact people in the field that maybe you wouldn't feel comfortable contacting otherwise. And you'll have unlimited special interest group membership. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about the special interest groups, but that's just a way to give you a more customized experience based on your interests. The next category is publications. if you're not familiar with it, the association does publish an academic journal called JASIST, the Journal for the Association for Information Science and Technology. It's a peer-reviewed journal. It comes out 12 times a year, so it's monthly. And as a member, you have an online subscription to that. So you'll have a link every month that will take you to the newest issues of JASIST, and you'll be able to access back members of JASIST as well. In addition to that, there's annual meeting proceedings. We have a weekly newsletter that comes out every Friday called Weekly Roundup, and it's all of the activities coming up in the next few weeks, so that you can get those on your calendar and you're not missing out on anything. And then our Inside ASIS newsletter comes out every other month, and it includes messages from our president and our executive director that are relevant to whatever's going on at that time with ASIS. So it's a great way to stay connected. The third category is career advancement. So you'll have access to the ASIS career portal. There's also a mentorship program called Member Match that we've been developing over the last year. We're finally able to, in the last few months, get people matched up and really see some great interaction as a result of that program. And as part of the ASIS career portal, there's also a free resume review application that you can use. Education, this is really, I think, where ASIS shines. We have our annual meeting, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, and it's this year in London. There's a discount on any meetings that we hold, whether in person or virtually. So the annual meeting is 100% in person. There's no virtual option for the annual meeting, but we do have virtual options available throughout the year. We've had a mid-year meeting this past year, and we'll be replacing that with some iteration of that again in the coming year. And there's member discounts for that, doctoral colloquium eligibility at our annual meeting. And one of the greatest benefits and one of the most visible benefits that you'll see as an ASIS member is our free webinar offerings. We average about every other week, an hour-long webinar presented by leaders in the field. And there's oftentimes opportunities for question and answer on these webinars as well. And it's a really great way to stay current and find out what's going on in the field. So I mentioned our unlimited special interest group membership on the last slide. And through participation in these special interest groups, or we call them SIGs, you can help design what in essence are small professional organizations based on your interests and your needs within the broader international association. And they provide ways to get involved even as a student. We're in the process right now of running our elections for the next administrative year for our special interest groups. And there are lots of PhD students running for different offices within these special interest groups. And you can see a little bit of the list of the special interest groups on the side of this slide, but there are currently 18. And as I mentioned, as we see developments in the field, there's always the opportunity for more special interest groups to pop up. The benefits being that online community that I mentioned in our iConnect online member forum. There's virtual presentations, networking opportunities. Sometimes these special interest groups will host, they call them coffees or meet and greets, where you bring your coffee and sign in online. And it gives you an opportunity to hear from other members within that same special interest group. There's the opportunity for awards and scholarships through being a member of these SIGs. And some of them also put out publications. So it's a great way to get involved. So why should you join the ACES student chapter? Well, I hope I've given you a great overview of what kinds of membership benefits you can get from being an ACES member, including as being an ACES student member. You don't need to wait for a full professional membership to take advantage of any of these benefits. So it's a great way to get involved in the field early in your career and become more knowledgeable about careers in information science and technology. So I just want to give you a quick overview. There's a lot of flexibility in the way student chapters can be organized, but this is sort of the general structure that we recommend. Each chapter needs to have a faculty advisor that serves as a conduit to additional resources and connections, so they can help establish a chapter meeting schedule or set up a Zoom or find physical meeting spaces if that's something that the chapter wants to do. They can help create bylaws, find guest speakers for events, create opportunities for scholarships and presentation opportunities, and help recruit student members. We also see a chair. As a chair of a student chapter, you can take the chapter and the vision that you want to see for the coming year. The chair-elect can learn the ropes, pitch in and grow as a leader, and then take over that chair position the following year, and then other officers as the chapter sees appropriate. I wanted to give you an idea of some of the activities that one of our award-winning student chapters puts together every year. This is the student chapter at Simmons University in Boston. And they had 4 events this last year, and they turned in these flyers as part of their annual report to headquarters. So they did a couple of just really basic meet and greets. This first one was just a tea time, take a break from your homework and drink some tea with ASIST. All are welcome. This one, I believe they did in person and virtually, but virtual options work great and are really inclusive for a lot of people. They also did a VR event. And then just another way to about ASIST and what's going on with ASIST was their open house, and who doesn't want to show their pet off on their WebEx or Zoom call. And then they did, and we see a lot of the chapters do annual meeting spotlights. So they'll have any of their student members who attended the annual meeting come back a couple of weeks after the meeting and give sort of a rundown of what their experiences were while they attended the annual meeting or any of the workshops or things that took place at the annual meeting. And it's a great way to hear about the details of the meeting if you weren't able to attend, because we know it is difficult for student members to attend in person. So who can join ASIST? Any full or part-time undergraduate or graduate student is eligible for student chapter membership. There's a limit of 6 years that one may become a student chapter member, and then a student member, and then after that they become an early career member of ASIS. So we do have a stepped membership, and you would I believe you can be an early career member for 3 years. So there'd be a total of 9 years before you'd hit that highest level of professional membership with ASIST. But again, all of the member benefits are active no matter which level of membership you have. All student chapter members and faculty advisors must be ASIST members. And we do have student membership rates. A yearly membership is $47.50 per year. Our all memberships run on a schedule of July 1st to June 30th of the following year. So if you were to join in the middle of that year, it would be a prorated membership fee. If you live in a tier 1 developing country, and you can find a list of tier 1 countries and tier 2 countries on the ASIS website under membership, there are reduced rates so that we can make it more accessible to people living in those countries. So it's $18 a year if you live in a tier 1 developing country, or free for 2 years if you live in a tier 2 developing country. And then after that, I believe it's $5 a year for student members. So this is how you can contact us at ASIST. You can also feel free to contact me directly. It's pyonker, YONKER, at asist.org. And you can find us on social media. So that is all that I have for my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions that you have, Michael.
Sure. Well, thank you for that information. I think all of the faculty in DLIS at some point in their career were members of ASIS. I think Dr. Angel and Dr. Singh may still be members because as recently as last year, Dr. Angel, or 2 years ago, Dr. Angel was getting her monthly copy of JSIST
Oh, yes.
at the office, and I
Yes.
would flip through. Does JSIST accept student papers?
Yes, they do. They do accept student papers. We see students accepted all the time. And that
That's
also
great.
goes for our annual meeting. Um, we see students doing papers and posters accepted at the annual meeting as well.
Yeah, that's really vital. Our students in DLAS are encouraged to publish, and they're even rewarded with scholarship money. So if you're watching this recording and you're curious about getting a paper published or accepted at a professional association conference, or even doing a poster, you can reach out to DLIS. We'll give you the information. You could win up to $500 an academic year for your contribution to the profession. So bear that in mind. Now, I get the sense also that JSIST is primarily, is it post-grad people? Like, is the culture of having PhDs, or is it, because it's research based, right? I mean, these are
It
people
is.
who are researchers in
Yes.
in information science and technology.
Yes.
So that's why I think I say most of my faculty might have been part of it at some point when they were in their PhD programs, right?
Right.
Because that's a natural fit. So if any of our current students are interested in post-grad work in academia, ASIS offers support, and that mentorship program sounds fabulous. I mean, we've been trying at DLAS to get something similar off the ground where we pair new students with recent graduates. But we only get one or two requests a semester, it seems. And I'm glad that ACES started this mentorship program, because that could be very valuable. Maybe in a couple of years, we'll invite an ASIS mentor to come and talk to us about, bring a couple in, one of
Sure.
your matched members, to talk about the value of professional mentorship, because not a lot of our associations offer that. And so I'm glad that ACES stepped up, especially if you're focusing on, if your membership base is people pursuing PhDs, they need mentorship and they need that
Absolutely.
kind of assistance, bridging the gap between theory and practice in the professions. That's
Mhm.
very valuable.
But it's funny that you use those words also, because if you go to the homepage of our website, we actually say that ASIST is the organization that bridges the gap between research and practice and research. So it's almost like it was made just for us that you said that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, thanks again. I'm going to share my screen and just wrap up here. It was a short but sweet. I think a lot of valuable information, um, because we want our students to get uh, as much information and as much assistance. I mean, I don't want to make a pun, assist, but
It's fitting.
so just in closing, some housekeeping for our students watching this recording. October 9th is what the university now calls fall mini break, because we are trying to be more sensitive to our friends and neighbors who maybe don't want to celebrate the life and legacy of Christopher Columbus. So we've removed the name Columbus Day from our calendar, and the university will be closed on October 9 in observance of our fall mini break. And our next webinar will be October 12th, and we'll be hearing from a Library Resource Council lawyer on the topic of book bans, and that coincides with ALA's Banned Books Week. So we're looking forward to that. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to email me at dlis@stjohns.edu. All right, we're all set. Thanks again, Pamela, and thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.